My name is Chetamo Kamfo, so I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. 8 years plus in product development, product support, teaching, and corporate trainer. You know, I'm more like an app developer. Yeah, apart from all the stuff around low code. Okay, inside low code, there is proper development. All right, so C Sharp is part of what we can use leverage. So I also know ASP.NET, MVC. That's the modern development techniques. You know, web APIs, Power Platform, of course. I mean, without that, what are we not talking about? Okay, so inside Power Platform, we can talk about the Power Apps, the Power Automate, Power BI. Okay, I excluded two things. That is the Power Page and the Power Virtual Agent. Okay, so please, Power Page is part of them. But the reason Power Page Virtual Agent might not really be part of them is because we all know about the collaboration. In fact, there's so new product called the Copilot Studio. All right, so it went there, but that's okay. It's something that we can talk about in the future, or maybe if we have the time to talk about something that's related to the Copilot part. I'm also a SharePoint administrator, and I write both SharePoint framework application and then components. That's the Power Platform from Power Apps framework. That is more like the component frameworks. You know, it's something that looks like the SPFS, but they are quite different. All right, so yes, I'm all that. Okay, before we proceed to talking about anything further, I'd like you all to tell me about yourself, please. Tell me your name, if your affiliations, things that places you worked, or where you're currently working, your title, Mr. Chief, Nze, all of them. Yeah, Oni, your experience, your expectations, of course. I mean, like, there are things that could help us understand each other and then know where we are going and what we're going to be discussing today. So who's going to go first?
Okay, I think I should go first.
Okay,
so my name is Ruki. I work at Dynamics Consults as a training coordinator and a little other things. I have experience in cloud computing, Power Platform, Microsoft 365, design. I think the only field I've never really ventured into is ethical hacking or cybersecurity as a whole. As Chetam said earlier, I'm also I was once his colleague where we learned Power Platform together and supported Power Platform. I think my expectations, well, sincerely, I would not lie, is to brush up my knowledge again on Power Platform. It's something I have basically dumped for a long time. So just to brush up my knowledge. Yeah. Someone else can go. I think I'm done. Sadra Jaye, I think your mic was on, but we couldn't hear you speak.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, right?
Yeah, okay. Hi, I'm Toib. I'm a CRM configurator with the University of Salford here in Manchester, and I think I have about 7 years experience around Power Platform, Dynamics 365, and Power Platform as a product and Dynamics 365. I'm just here to see maybe how things go. Then maybe I believe there is no relearning. So I'm just here just to see if I could grab new things from you. I think that'll be it from me. Thank you.
Okay, so since we're not getting any more introductions, I guess I'm going to take this the old school way, and I'm going to stop my presentation because now presentation is not quite my way. I mean, there are quite a couple of ways that I like to do my presentations, and one of them is going deep in the product. So in a moment, I'm going to end this slide that is covering all the pages, and just a moment, we are going to talk about our platform. Okay, so now what is Power Platform? And what is Power Platform? So sometimes the name sounds like something that doesn't have a definition, but it quite has a really fantastic definition. And I can tell you that Power Platform is more like a suite of a couple of applications, specifically low code, or what we call the low code systems or tools or environments that is designed to empower business process, especially building custom application or custom solution, automating processes, analyzing data, creating websites, and a couple of other things. So when I mention building apps, we have the Power Apps. Okay. Power Apps serves the purpose of building custom business application without writing any code. Yes, without writing any code. It is true that when you are advanced in building, or when you are advanced in creating or building business applications, that you may tend to want to start writing some custom codes in your application, but it still does not remove the fact that you can build an application that is functional without writing a single code. Okay, it means that you can just create an app based off either a predefined template or just click a button to create an app based on a structured table that you have, and then you get the application working. So for Power Apps, it allows us to integrate into various systems. It allows us to integrate into SQL, Microsoft-related data systems or data sources, external data sources that is not Microsoft or related. It allows us to build with modern tools, things that we most likely don't have in the previous time. All right, we have Power Automate in the Power Platform. Power Automate allows us to create business process flows, automation processes that takes out a lot of standing up and going to the next desk just to get a signature, things like that. Things like sending you a reminder at a specified time, things like sending a request for approval, things like moving your file from one directory to another directory, things like document management with due approval steps. Okay. One important thing about the Power Automate is that it can also connect to our apps. That's the Power application that we have built. Or can also be connected to the app. So the app can send information to the Power Automate, and Power Automate can send information to the Power App, vice versa. Yeah, but one has to be one is a primary before the latter becomes a responsive operation. Now, when I mean the latter becomes a responsive operation, it means that one has to send an information before it gets an information back. So when you're trying to say Power Automate, when I'm saying Power Automate works with Power Apps, I'm saying that Power Automate can be triggered to process some data through a Power App, and then at the end of processing the data, some data or some information or details of the data processed gets returned back to the Power Apps. Now we have the Power BI. Power BI is a tool that allows us to analyze and share insights. It is quite a huge system, easy to use, not really hard. I mean, like I've seen some people who say it's very difficult to learn the Power BI, but I think I find it quite easy or something. I could say that, I mean, but yes, it is a tool that helps us to analyze data. It helps us to create interactive reports and dashboards, and then allows us to also visualize the data to help the business or the organization make informed decisions. There's a whole lot inside it. Maybe if we dive into in it, we'll just maybe talk about a few more things. Now we have Power Pages. Power Pages are more like a low-code business website. Just like we have our application, you get to build some pages that allows you to, publish or interact with your data. Something that helps you to get a seamless experience with all your users. We all know the purpose of websites in the world today. So if you have a website in the Power Platform that allows you to interact, you can use it to collect data directly into your system without looking at external resources providing those information to you. Okay, now we have the last one in the Power Platform family, which is the Power Virtual Agent. I don't think I want to still classify this as part of the Power Platform. Well, I think it's still part of it as far as I know, because it's something that used to be there and is still there, even though we have had a recent move, to the Copilot Studio. Okay, but Power Virtual Agent is more like a tool that helps us to create chatbots. Now that function is now in the Copilot. If you build chatbots, you can use your chatbot to perform a lot of tasks, including triggering a flow, including directing a call to someone, including responding to your customers without lifting your fingers. Okay. We also have some more capabilities within the Power Platform that we may not stay defined as a system or an app or a specific model, just like we have the Power App, Power Automate, the Power BI, and so on. We have things like the AI builders, which are capabilities of the Power Platform environment. The AI builder is a tool in the Power Platform that enhances your app and workflows with AI capabilities. There's quite a lot that you can do with that, like collecting, like scanning a file like this and then picking out, maybe you want to pick out the names of all these items here. So if you upload this, if you build an application, you include the AI builder capability inside. Yeah, the AI capability inside the application. With something like this, you'll be able to extract the names of this system, the names of these items, store them in a table, send it out to someone, or you can do a lot of things with it. I mean, this is just a basic usefulness of the AI capability. Now we have the connectors in the Power Platform. These connectors are more like the bridge to our resources. The connectors, some people say the connectors are APIs. Well, connectors are, I can't define connectors as APIs. Okay, I can say that connectors help us make contact with our APIs to reach out to our resources. Okay, a connector can be a container. Okay, that container allows easy access to your API. API sends out an information to some place, returns it. That your container puts that information together and returns it back to where you want the information to go. Now, they are more like the bridges to the resources that we have, regardless of where they are. And we have over 1,000 connectors available as of today. You can also build custom connectors to include to what we have. You can still submit, or people are still submitting new connectors to Microsoft for approval. Once they get approved, they get to be recognized as part of the connectors that we can use on our day-to-day business applications. Okay, we have the Microsoft Dataverse. The Microsoft Dataverse is more like not a database. Yeah, some people still confuse that to be a database. No, it is more like a scalable data services. In fact, it's more like an application platform, but it houses both your application, both your database, both the resources that you use within your application. In fact, your connectors are stored within the dataverse, and your application are also stored within the dataverse. I mean, there is a lot of things. In fact, it's a service on its own. So I think the best definition that we can give to dataverse is calling it a service. So dataverse is a service. All right, and now we have PowerFX. What is PowerFX? PowerFX is the syntax, more like a programming language for expressing our logics across our applications in both Power Apps, Power Automate. Power Automate is more like Power Automate expressions, but then let's majorly in Power Apps. Okay, so PowerFX talks about the syntax that we can write to express our logics so that you can use them across Power Platform. Okay, because the reason I stopped at extending where the PowerFX can be used is because I realized that by the time you get to other systems outside the Power App and Power Automate, which seem to use a little bit of similar expression, if you get to Power BI, you get introduced to something called DAX. DAX is data analytic expression, more like the Power functions or the Power Apps expression. Okay. Now there is a whole lot that goes on within the Power Platform, but talking about them theoretically may not give us a lot of insight on that. And I don't want to take the entire time that we have today just to, talk about all the things that we can get. I think that's more like a basic of what you should know about the Power Platform, which is fantastic to know. And then using it is one thing. Building a system with it is something for people like me who kind of find joy in